Synergy Ram Heavy Duty Steering Box Brace for the 1994 to current Ram 2500 and 3500 4x4. The vehicle does not need to be lifted or the wheels removed for installation of this product. But for clarity and ease of installation, we have lifted the vehicle. Remove the 4 bolts holding the sway bar clamps to the frame and rotate the sway bar down. Remove the pitman arm nut from the sector shaft. With the factory nut removed, apply some of the thread locker to the threads and install the provided pitman arm stud. Be sure to install the correct size lock washer between the pitman arm and the new stud. Torque the sector shaft nut to 185 foot-pounds. Position the steering box brace onto the sway bar. Insert one 10mm bolt on the driver and passenger side of the sway bar and brace assembly. Use a flat washer and lock washer under the head of each bolt. Loosely start the bolts into the frame to hold the assembly in place. Loosely install the remaining 2 10mm bolts into the frame with flat washers and lock washers. Ensure the sector shaft nut is aligned in the large center hole of the bracket and snug the 4 10mm frame bolts so there is no space between the steering box brace and the frame, but the brace can still be shifted around for alignment purposes. Center the sector shaft stud in the large hole in the center of the steering box bearing mount. There are 2 sets of holes on the bracket to allow for fitment of 4-bolt and 6-bolt steering boxes. The 4-bolt boxes will require the sector shaft stud to be aligned with the driver's side holes in the bracket. 6-bolt boxes will require the sector shaft and stud to be aligned with the passenger side holes. For more clarity, see the instructions on our website. It is recommended to apply anti-seize to the sector shaft stud prior to installing the bearing. Install the bearing. Use the 7/16 by 2 inch long bolts to hold the bearing in place. Use the supplied nylock nuts and a washer under the head of the nut while installing. Torque the 7/16 bolts to 60 foot-pounds. Torque the 4 10mm frame bolts holding the steering box brace and sway bar assembly to 40 foot-pounds. Install the bearing lock ring. Loosen the set screw and place the lock ring onto the bearing. Twist the lock ring until it seats onto the bearing and stud. Once the lock ring has seated, hit the blank hole on the lock ring to fully seat the assembly. Do not use the set screw hole to seat the lock ring. Once seated, tighten the screw to 4 foot-pounds. Reinstall the wheels and lower the vehicle to the ground. Installation is now complete. For more information on this product or other Synergy products, visit us at synergymfg.com.